Hello everyone and welcome to a brand new series we're going to be running on the channel. Frosthaven has entered early access, so we're going to be running through the campaign and going along with that while the game goes through its development process. This is 0.1. This is like the earliest it can be without being the closed beta. So first things first, it is potentially going to have bugs. We'll do our best to work around them. I'm not seeing this as it's going to be a perfect run because we're also going to have to learn a lot of the rules and things. I expect a lot of you are going to come from the Gloomhaven playlists that I've put, either the campaign or the Guildmaster. There are some changes between Gloomhaven and Frosthaven. Most of them are around streamlining. Some of them are like core game mechanics, such as the town has the ability to like construct buildings. There's different types of loot. You're not just picking up gold, but there's a lot of very, very cool things that have been done just to make the game play a lot fairer and stop the game taking away player agency. Things like ranged attacks are now no longer on the enemy monster card. Instead, they are on the attack modifiers that get drawn, because you did get to the point in some of the later, more difficult scenarios where you would have a light demon that could hit every single space in a room and just absolutely obliterate a party. That's no longer good. Well, I say it's no longer. That's unlikely to be a thing that will happen in this game. There's no more instant kill abilities. Obviously, there's going to be new characters with new abilities, so we're going to have fun getting to learn them, seeing what they're all about. Yeah, the removal of instant kill abilities means we're going to have to focus a lot more on our time to kill instead when dealing with mobs. I could go in and list all the differences, but I think it'd be better if we just jump in and get started. So, let's do that. Brand new campaign. We don't need training. We'll go straight for the main campaign. Oh, and I think we'll have it on standard. Gloomhaven is supposedly a more difficult game. That could be because the characters are a little bit more complicated. But I think we'll keep it on normal and hope that our Gloomhaven experience carries over onto Frosthaven. Right. No, we'll call ourselves the Northern Adventurers. That seems good. I like that they have an unfair option. We're definitely not going for that. Okay. We're going to need at least 2 heroes. When I was doing the Gloomhaven run-throughs, I tried to keep it to just 2 in most situations so we could get a real feel for the characters, but there is definitely an advantage in having more. So let's have a look at what we've got. We've got the Banner Spear. The Banner Spear, they work with a lot of complex formations trying to line themselves up with their friends. So something like this combined effort. You are in one space, an ally is in another space, an enemy is in another space, and you get damage and bleed on them. This one, you are in one space, your ally is behind you, and the enemy it gets speared twice through with 3 pierce. So there's potentially a lot of maneuvering that would be needed for the Banner Spear, and I don't think they're a particularly mobile character. However, they do sound fun, so we'll have one Banner Spear. We'll call her Charlotte. Ooh, and the personal quest. Greed is good, have 100 gold in your possession, or searching for the oak. Loot 8 total lumber cards through the loot action to unlock Sacred Soil and then follow it to a conclusion. I assume Sacred Soil is like a quest chain? So the personal quest, it's their reason for being in Frosthaven. When they complete it, they will retire, and I assume that there's going to be a retirement mechanic like Gloomhaven had. So let's go searching for the oak. That sounds interesting. The fact that it's going to have to be this character personally looting it, I think is going to be good. Now, in terms of what we're doing, we have a little bit of gold. So we can buy some stuff that will try and help out. Warden's Robes, we don't have any summons. Leather armor seems like a reasonable start. Boots of Speed, I've never been a fan of them. Winged shoes could be useful. I think mostly we need to be looking at a bit of defense. So a heater shield. That'd be 15, and leather armor, I think is reasonable. Now, as far as items go, there's ways of purchasing them in the game, but there's also ways of crafting them in the game, so it's going to be a lot more complex in that sense. Who are we going to have alongside the Drifter? What do you like? Okay, you're just a young Inox. What kind of... You got a little bit of range. That's kind of interesting. Draining arrows as well. I do like the idea of having a ranged character. Let's take the Drifter along as well. And I think I'll take one more. We could say that you were related to Enocean, so let's go with Enocean. Ooh, dangerous game. Kill 2 Algox guards, 2 Lurker Claw Crushers, and 2 robotic bolt shooters. Let's go with that. That's a very interesting one. I think everyone's got greed is good as an option. If you're doing ranged stuff, weighted net makes a lot of sense, and then we can't afford anything else. Any unspent gold will be lost once the hero is created. Go ahead. And our final one. We have so many choices. We've got the Bone Shaper there, all about summoning very, very strange fell creatures. And skeletons, all of the skeletons. That could be really handy for the Banner Spear. We've got the Deathwalker. This is one of the ones that was available. They have a combination of hex and like shadows going on. What's the Blink Blade like? I mean, in terms of name, I think we know what they're going to do. They are pretty powerful in terms of options. High mobility, high melee. I am really curious as to what you're going to be like. The fact that they've got like 2 options on each of them, I want to learn what that's all about. Because there must be something particular about that. Okay, we'll take the Blink Blade. And we will call you Seraph. Oh, did not get the gold option. Okay. During 8 different outpost phases, encounter a person's name. Interesting. Or gain 150 experience from ability cards. I like this as an idea because that's going to encourage us to try and push for the experience. Seraph, welcome to the team. I think we'll give you a poison dagger, and I think we'll give you a heater shield, just because you're going to be right up in the front line, I think. And these three will be our starting heroes. And we go straight into a town in flames. We need to save the northernmost outpost of the Empire. We've got a bunch of Algox, priests, guards, elites, and things. And it looks like there's a whole bunch of different loot available. So what have we got in terms of personal quests? Be targeted by attacks from 3 or more enemies in the same round. Don't like that. Lose a card to negate 2 or less damage from an attack. That's something we can definitely do to start working out towards the perks. Kill an enemy that has 2 or more negative conditions. Amusing, but I think Wastrel is one we can like engineer. It's not necessarily a smart one for us to try and do, but I reckon we could do that. Collect fewer loot bags than any hero, possible. Have 0 cards in your hand each time you rest, so that's working all the way down to the last card. I don't know if you have any loot abilities. Let's have a look. The other potential issue is we don't have. Here we go. We can click in and have a look at the specific event. We don't really have a legend for what the different things do at this point. So we're going to have to make do with our general understanding of what cards there are. We'll put that back in. So we've got one looting ability. So it is possible we could do that looting, but I'm not convinced that that's going to be the best option for us. Okay, so fewer loot bags than any other hero, that's possible, but probably not. 0 cards in your hand each time rest, I don't like that as an idea. Pickpocket, that's going to be super risky, so I think we're going to have to go with ascetic. Or ascetic, sorry. And I hope that that's good enough. Now, Sarah, kill an enemy attacked by any of your allies. That could work. Occupy a door hex adjacent to 2 or more enemies. So standing and blocking the way. Or kill an undamaged enemy with a single attack action. This might work, depending on how much oomph they have. But I think assistant is the most likely. Let's get in there and let's see how it goes.
The sounds greet you first. Muffled, metallic pangs, a voice howling. It's difficult to make anything out with the wind rushing past your ears, but you know that tune anywhere. There's a fight up ahead. But a fight means people, and if there are people, then the town must be close. You hear more, a scream, the crash of steel against stone, a deep, earthy growl. You're running now. Your legs are wasted from the hike. Your shoulders ache from your gear. But the sounds are close now, and up ahead you see the gauzy orange light looming in the air. With one last push, you round the final bend in the trail, and you see it. Frosthaven, engulfed in flame.
Yeah, that's not cool.
Great petals of fire burst from windows and crawl over roofs. People stream from the town's ruined gate, their faces bent in panic. A moment later, you see the object of their terror. A massive creature with 2 legs and 2 hulking arms, covered entirely in thick white fur. 3 gnarled horns crowning its head.
Aldoc's raiders!
Cries an elderly porter beside you.
We're doomed! They're stronger than anything else alive! We've come all this way for nothing!
As if to prove the point, the Olgox you've been watching catches a fleeing outposter with one hand and hurls him backward as if he weighed nothing.
This might be tricky.
10 days you've been hiking. 10 days, and this is what you find. You breathe out a thick plume of foggy air and hoist your weapon high. Time to get to work.
Indeed, it is. Okay. Once we get in, I'm going to take a moment just to see if I can balance the sounds a little bit, because it sounded like the narration was a little bit quiet compared to the music.
Aldoc's raiders! We're doomed!
Okay, right. Let's get this tweaked. Back in a second. Okay, hopefully that is a little bit better. And at the same time, I've been able to find out a little bit more information about the Blink Blade. So the Blink Blade at the start of each round will be choosing whether we're going fast or slow. This here, I think, is the number of times we can use fast abilities, and every time we go slow, we accumulate one of these, and then when we go fast, it consumes one. So that's going to be kind of interesting, because that's going to be also weighing in on our initiative choices and stuff. So let's start off with having a look at what we've got. We've got an Algox Guard, we have an Algox Priest, we have a friend on the left-hand side, who I think we need to protect, and they've got Retaliate on. Okay, that's kind of good. And then an archer up on the right that I think we're going to want someone to take out. And then we've got the loot as well. Okay. What's going to be our best bet for starting off? We could do a straight up javelin on this guy. Getting a javelin in place could be pretty useful. 3 attack at range 3. Our attacks aren't really going to be very consistent at this stage. And I think the other action on the bottom, which we're not going to be using, is move and then slow someone at range 3. What would be worth us? Ooh, we could summon someone as well. Interesting. Or we put on a permanent shield. And we go full tank. Doesn't slow us down. Would slow down our ranged attacks after that. But that's not a bad option if we go for Unbreakable Wall. Because I think Unbreakable Wall as a thing is going to be pretty difficult. So you're moving at speed 21. Let's do the Blink Blade next. For the first, we want to go slower than the Banner Spear, and we want to move in and have a stab. I assume the left-hand icon is moving fast and the right-hand icon is moving slow just from cascading reaction. That looks about right. Power Leak looks like it does a bit of damage to us in exchange for something quite powerful. Twin Strike could be reasonable. Psychokinetic Transfer. So assume you're going to take about 3 damage. I think we need 2 solid hits in order to make sure that you're definitely going down. So Twin Strike works for that, and it would allow us to kind of like move around the other side. I think we need to move in. Kinetic Transfer could do that. Blurry Jab would also get us in. Yeah, let's go with Kinetic Transfer, and we'll see how that bottom section works. That looks like it's going to be a bit complicated. Yes, here we go. Fast is lower initiative, slow is higher initiative. So we get to choose down there. That's how we do it. Alright, well, we're going fast to start off with. And then after that, we have our Drifter, who is mostly going to be doing ranged stuff. Let's bring them up. On the next 6 ranged attacks, add 1 range and 1 damage. That's pretty nice. We could just do this as a prep to start off with. Violent Inheritance, move and attack. That's nice, but I don't like burning cards early. There is a lot of these persistent effects. A great new use of one of your active bonuses. So crushing weight in itself is kind of interesting because that allows us to keep the burned things going on. That's very cool. Okay, well, I think this is mostly going to be just about moving into position. Let's not burn a card. Let's go with Sustained Momentum, and we'll see how it plays out. Alright, so we've got Fast, Faster-ish, and Slow. And it looks like we're mostly going before all of them, except that Priest. That Priest is going to do some pretty nasty stuff. The City card is going to cower. That's not helpful. Right. Javelin on you. Let's get this hit in. And we'll get that shield on. That should be permanent. Persistent bonus. And yeah, we're not going to be able to use that card again. Banner Spear. You have done well. Right, Blink Blade. What's this bottom part? Relies on time tokens to control when he's fast or slow. Up to 2 tokens can be gained by... Fortunately, the text is not in a great position. Okay, so with this we could spend a time token, I think, in order to push all enemies 1 space. I think the layout of that is a little bit unusual, but we'll move in up here. And can we skip the rest of the movement? Do 1 damage to you just because kinetic transfer. And then we're going to do a little bit of stabbing. I don't think it's worth us poisoning this one. Hey, there we go. We've already achieved our assistant. Do we want to loot that? Do we want to go after the priest? I think we want to go after the priest. Or we could come up here and go after you. I like that as an idea. And just in case we don't kill you, we did kill you, so 2 kills in 1 turn. Blink Blade. And you're even on a bit of loot. What are we getting? 2 gold. City Guard is doing not much. Okay, well, I guess we're doing precision. Aim. And sustained momentum. Sustained momentum is probably going to help out as we try and move forwards. We're going to need to go through that door at some point. That's just so bad. We need to protect as many city guards as possible. It doesn't say how many would cause us to fail, so that's nice. Set for the charge. Let's get onto 3-4. Let's get up on in, and we won't have anyone right next to us. So what could we do that's going to be worthwhile? You're not in a good position for like pincer movement. Maybe we just do deflecting maneuver. We have air available, so we can burn air to get advantage and +1 attack. I think deflecting maneuver is a good choice. So gonna start doing some damage up there. We need to move in and do a shot. Ooh, Vile Assault's nasty, but it gets burned. Draining Arrows, that's target 3, which is not useful for us. Continuous health, though. It's a ranged shot. It's going to do a bit more damage. And we'll move up and grab this loot using... Using Violent Inheritance, we'll just use it for the move ability. Blink Blade, you're going to have to go slow. We don't have a choice. So, on the slowness, I think we want to grab that if we can. Overdrive, gain 1 while... I assume that's fast? Add jump onto all your... Oh yeah, sorry, gain 1 while 1 shield while slow. Add a jump to all of your move abilities while fast. Interesting. Overdrive will muddle everyone within 3. You're already going to be in a bit of trouble. Yeah, I think we'll just do a little bit of light looting. I don't think we're going to be in range to do any attacks. Oh, we can use temporal displacement to loot that next to us. And then it's more a question, do we have... Blurry Jab. Blurry Jab, we step across and we'll cause a bit of damage to the enemy. That priest is going to heal themselves. Interesting. They're also going to move. Or they're going to try to move, I should say. Step on in. And deflecting maneuver, consuming air, 3 attack with advantage. Terrible. So terrible. And any attacks coming at us, which there will be none, would be at disadvantage. So terrible. We're in a good place for next turn, though. Alright, let's loot. There's a lumber. And we'll step across and do 1 damage to you. The Blink Blade's a very interesting character. Come on, City Guard, you got to do more than just hide. Right, we want to move on in. Just to there, I think. And then skip the rest of it, because we wanted to grab that loot. But we can take a shot at you. I don't think we want to lock them in place, so for now we'll just take the 3 hit. Okay. And we are going to regain, I think, the sustained momentum. Or do we get to pick both? No. I think that worked. I wasn't sure why there was the 2 arrows at the bottom, but I think that did what we needed. A little bit of looting. Inurshion has picked up a bit of lumber. Alright. Let's carry on with this one, and we need to push forwards. We don't have our friend in the right place for combined effort. So we might just have to do a regular attack. Which is absolutely fine. Ooh, actually. This could work for Rallying Cry. Maybe it could work for Rallying Cry. It depends on if it's like rotatable and positionable, because the enemies between us, it's just I think it would affect this space and not that space. That's the only thing I'm unsure about, but we'll see if that would work. And we'll do combined effort to move on potentially. Given we're getting a little bit closer. In fact, if we move faster, we can do prudent preparation and draining arrow. Run in here, get back one of our bonuses, and we'll be in a position for combined effort. I like that. And just in case, we could do a power leak, which will confuse us, but we're going to do a massive hit on the enemy. We're not going to poison ourselves, so that's fine. And cascading reaction would allow us to move on. Let's stay slow. The priest is moving even slower than us, so this is going to work quite well. Step on in. If you're adjacent to exactly 1 enemy, get back one of your things. We'll go for precision aim. And we could do shield and retaliate, but I think we'll just do it as a smack. Yeah. Good call. Well, that kind of simplifies things a little bit. Let's step in and grab the loot. Skip the rest of the movement. And then 2 allies within 2 get to move 2. So you... can move on to there. And you... And move on to here. And then there's no one to hit with this, so it's going to do very little. But if I put it down, we'll be able to at least see. Yeah, it is very specifically in that position. It doesn't get rotated or mirrored. So skip that attack. We learned something. Also interesting that there's a banner that we can summon. I mean, as the banners bit, it does kind of make sense. Okay, Blink Blade. Let's push in and see if there's anyone.
You run inside the gate, and the breath of destruction becomes quickly apparent. The town has been sacked. Smoke burns your eyes. What structures still stand are bright with fire, and the rest smolder. Their frames like black, torched skeletons. And all about the wreckage howl the Olgoks, celebrating their victory in an unrecognizable language.
This is going to be bad. There's a lot of guys in here. We can move a little bit further. And then we're not quite going to be in range to do any big hitting. That is a large guard. He's going to come in close. Let's step slightly to the side. Skip the attack. Oh, and it still triggers. I should have just ignored that. I was not expecting that. Ow. Okay, well, we're going to use the shield. Nice bit of retaliation. Oh, that's so painful. Let's burn a card. Let's burn Overdrive. Ouch. We will burn Hit and Run, I think. We can afford to take that. I don't want to burn any more cards at this point. Five damage! That's just obscene. So painful. Yeah, focus on the guards for a bit. Okay, we need to get some healing in, and we need to get in quickly. So regroup and tip of the spear. 1, 2, 3. It'll get us right in the middle of everything and get some healing out. I'm kind of tempted to use Vile Assault on the big Tamale. Yeah, let's go with Vile Assault and Unbreakable. Sorry, Relentless. Oh, we could use Relentless for a hell of a lot of Retaliate, but I'm worried we're going to lose the Blink Blade if I ignore that. Let's do a short rest. Interesting. So the short rest is done here, and then we would pick it. Okay, end selection on that. Kinetic transfer. It's a shame, but yeah, we'll lose it. We need some healing, if that's possible. We do have some healing if we're going slow on Twin Strike at the bottom. Drive recharge looks interesting. That would just give us a lot of fast. Let's do cascading reaction and drive recharge. So we're going to do a stab with a bleed, then move, and then a stab with a bleed. And hopefully that's going to be enough to keep us in it. So painful. Let's lose temporal displacement. About time got a little bit lucky, but they've got so many attacks coming in. This was such a terrible idea to step in as I did. We'll lose sap speed. Okay, Blink Blade. First things first. We'll get the hit on you. With disadvantage, I should say. And then we'll come around to just here, I think. No, to this side, like this. Skip the rest of the movement. Get a stab here. Very unlucky. That's what happens when you're muddled. And then get the healing on. Banner Spear. We need you up and in here. Right up in the area. Skip the rest of the movement. Get the heal and the regen going. So that's that extra symbol is regen. As long as you don't take damage, you will keep gaining health. And I don't think that our Blink Blade is really in much danger from there. We'll see. Drifter. Do we go for the retaliation? No, we step in and we do a hit. And I think getting a poison on the elite is the smart choice. Very nice. They're already wounded. Focusing them down is probably going to be our best bet for survivability. This is definitely a learning experience for the different characters. Oh, don't target that person! Just take the damage. I thought that they may have gone after the balance here, but of course it's going to be related to the initiative order of the cards. Okay. 3 healing for all allies. And then suffer some damage yourself. Yeah, we're going to have to do a short rest. Short rest for the Banner Spear. . we can get muddle on everyone with draining arrows. I think that's a really good idea. So short rest down here as well. Our lovely blurry jab twin strike combination. And we'll go slow. Oh, going slowly really drops the initiative down. Yeah, we'll keep quick. So, short rest up here. Don't want to lose regroup. Let's get a different one. We'll lose set for the charge. Draining arrows is what I wanted to be using, so don't lose that. We'll lose relentless. Okay. I feel like we need to do another regroup. So let's say deflecting maneuver and regroup. And we'll try and go quick and tank it all. We're going to do draining arrows, but prudent preparation would make a lot of sense to get some healing out as well on yourself. So we'll do both of those, which means we're going fast over here, or faster than the banner spear at least, but there's not really much you can do in that situation. We are, however, going faster than most of the enemies. So heal yourself. And then we'll get draining arrows on you, which is going to be at a disadvantage. We'll get draining arrows on you, and we'll get draining arrows on the elite. And we could lock them in place. The guards are just defending, so that's not really much of a problem. The archers are going to try and move, and the elite is going to come closer. So yeah, use the net. One kill here. This one will die on its turn. This one's locked in place and is muddled. This is turning around a little. Banner Spear. Regroup on the poor Blink Blade. And I think we're gonna step forwards rather than just using the shield. Let's go after that elite. Blink Blade. We've got choices. We could do more healing. We do have this regen. Blurry Jab. This is great. This one will die on its turn. So if we're going fast, we could kind of maneuver up this way for the future. Might be the smart choice. Okay, do it. It's a little painful, but it's not too bad. Getting stuck in place is annoying. That's annoying. That is quite painful. Take the damage for now. Don't want to be stuck in place, though. Okay, we can throw a javelin. That'll at least be useful. we can't move anywhere, but we can do pincer movement to do some looting and grab the stuff nearby at the very least. I'm going to need some healing or some safety. We may just need to burn some cards. We can't move, so our choices are we postpone things with continuous health. Continuous health is a really nice idea. But I think we'll go for continuous health as a shot rather than as a healing. And we can use Violent Inheritance to do a shot on the bottom as well, which may be enough for us to kill one of these. Blink Blade, we're going to need a short rest. And we may struggle to get in to the priest. We're going to have to lose drive recharge because we don't really have the freedom to flip things around. So if we're going slow, healing isn't really going to help us much. Power Leak would allow us to move 3. 1, 2, 3. But then it burns it. Unless we come over this way and go after him. At which point it would be a blurry jab. He's only 2 away. So we can do blurry jab just by itself and power leak as a hit. Okay, that's what we'll do. And we'll have to send someone else up to deal with that priest. Archers attacking. Yeah, we'll use the leather armor. Such good rolls. Take the damage. Oh, that's gonna hurt. Burn. Crushing. No, burn bloodletting. Banner Spear. Get that javelin out. It's a really solid hit. You can't move, so skip the movement, but grab what you can nearby. Blink Blade. We can get you in over here and kill this, kill the elite, just by standing next to it. And then Power Leak's going to be useless. Okay, well, just skip your attack. A little bit of retaliation from the guard. That's helpful, at least. Okay, try and get a shot off. Don't think we need to net him. And we'll gain an extra point on sustained momentum. Oh, I guess this must be cancel. That's how it's been doing it. Okay. Well, let's... we're immobilized, we can't use this one, but we can take a shot, even though this is going to burn the card. We're getting killed. And that makes things at least a little simpler for us, because that means we've only got the priest left. Okay, short rest. You might be able to move 3 and get a stab with Twin Strike. In fact, if we go fast, you will definitely be able to move far enough and do something worthwhile. Yeah, that's going to be good. I would ideally want to have Blurry Jab rather than Power Leak, but we'll obviously see what the game gives us. Banner Spear, you are able to move. I'm thinking getting in here and doing some looting would be very powerful. And we can move some friends around as well. Yeah, let's say combined effort for the moving. And Rallying Cry just to pass a bit of time. And then down here, it doesn't really matter what we do. Let's go with Deadly Shot and Unbreakable and just try and come up and grab some loot. Okay, I wanted to keep Blurry Jab. So let's redraw that. Blurry Jab, Twin Strike. Now the priest is going very slowly, but they're going to try and heal and bless themselves. So let's try and stop that. Get in right behind them. And if possible... Oh! They're gonna drop down to 1 health and then they're gonna heal up. That's frustrating. That means we're gonna have to move someone else over. Banner Spear. Yeah, move up to this. Skip the ability because no one's in range. Hey, 4 gold. Our lovely drifter. And at this point, I'm thinking maybe we get a lot closer. Let's undo that. If I use this, I can get right up 1, 2, 3, 4. I can get close enough to shoot an arrow. We're going to get less loot from it, but I think it means that this thing is going down. Yes. I would have loved to loot more. I really would. But saving the guards was the most important thing. Honorary Bystander, the Executioner, and Pocket Filler. Most loot collected, most enemies killed, and awarded for encouragement. Let's go to the outpost.
You lower your weapon and breathe as the remaining Ulgoks retreat, scurrying from Frosthaven like giant white mice. They'll be back, you're certain of it. But for now, you can rest. You wipe the soot from your face and take stock. You nod and ask what happened.
Oh, just life up north is all. I'm Satha, mayor of this fort, now that my predecessor and his lieutenant have fallen. As for the Olgoks, they've been at us all winter. Took them months to break through, but they finally did. Probably killed a dozen or so of my men. Would have done worse if you hadn't shown up.
You explain who you are, that you've been sent from White Oak. At the mention of the capital, her face scrunches up in displeasure.
It's about time they sent someone to help fix this mess they made.
she says, then tries to lighten her mood.
I don't mean to be ungrateful. I'm overjoyed to be still among the living. But a lot more people would be alive if your employers, the Merchants Guild, never stuck their noses in our business.
Ah, okay.
I've spent my whole life here on what was once a fishing village, living and letting live with the Olgoks. Until last summer, that is, when the Merchants Guild sent some garrisons and bureaucratic types up here to see how Frosthaven could be of more use to the Empire. One of their expeditions proceeded to muck about in an Olgok's burial site, and the next thing we know, righteously angry Olgoks are attacking us. The Inkstains immediately hightailed it out of here, leaving just a handful of soldiers behind to keep us safe.
Well, they didn't do a great job, did they?
Sather clenches her gauntlet tighter and tighter as she tells the story, but now releases her grip.
I've had to learn a lot of things in the last year. The hard truth is that the Olgoks refuse to be reasoned with. And the only way to stay alive and keep this place I call home is to win the fight, regardless of who started it.
Her face softens and she clasps your shoulder hard.
There's not many of you, but I'll take what I can get, especially now that our garrison's been thinned. And as it happens, I have an idea.
Oh, tell me more.
She turns and gestures to the town's smouldering walls.
We took a beating in that fight, so if we're gonna survive much longer, we'll have to do more than just sit around and wait for the next attack.
She sizes you up carefully.
I've already sent a scout to track the Olgoks back home to the mountains. Drop your gear at any longhouse that's still standing and rest up. As soon as you're ready, I want you to get over there and find a way to slow these attacks.
By killing them?
The bunks in the remaining longhouses are all occupied by the injured, but you find a dry stretch of floor to lay your heads on your packs. You doubt you can sleep after the horror that greeted you in this little outpost. But before you know it, a young Valrath man is nudging you awake.
Wake up.
Sather's scout has returned with his report.
Tell me more.
He tracked the attackers to the foothills of the Kopanek Mountains, where they entered a cave at the base of Snowscorn Mountain. Interestingly, a smaller band split from the main group before they reached the cave and hiked around to the mountain's deadly eastern face. The scout didn't see where they went, but he suspects a secret entrance to the Olgok's stronghold.
One last thing.
The Valrath says as you wipe the final dregs of sleep from your eyes.
Another group is moving towards Snowscorn. They were Olgoks, no doubt, but they're dressed differently than the ones who attacked us. They carried long sticks and had some wild animals with them. I don't know if they're going to attack the mountain or reinforce it, but either way, you'd better get there quick.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable. Apologies that I skipped past part of the dialogue in that. That was an accidental ham fist as I was moving the mouse. So, the Town in Flames quest has been completed. We have a new quest, Algox Scouting, and a new quest, Algox Offensive. And this is all in the surrounding area.
Mail call. Open up.
You open the door to find a grumpy quattrel with a low-riding sack of mail. She tosses a lumpy package wrapped in cord to you.
No name, but this address. It's yours now.
As she walks away, she snaps her fingers, remembering something.
Oh, right. This too.
She hands over a letter addressed to you. As she wanders off toward a drink, you rip the letter open to read a note scrawled in excellent cursive. Please do not open the package. We will retrieve it. Leonidas and Maximus.
I have no idea who Leonidas and Maximus are, but I guess we don't mind holding on to it. Let's respect their request.
Against all the curiosity in your being, you refrain from opening the lumpy package. A short while later, two Esthers dressed in drab yellow arrive at your door.
Hello, mercenaries. We are Leonidas.
And Maximus. We have come for our package.
You hand it over, and they tear open the top, reaching much too deep inside to be obeying the laws of the universe.
Bigger
Out
on the
comes
inside.
a large black diamond.
The Shadow Gem. We have...
Your payment, as agreed.
They hand you a sack of coins and then turn and leave, passing the diamond back and forth between them.
Okay, we got 30 gold shared between us. I guess we'll do it pretty evenly. What did we end up with? We ended up with 4 gold, 3 hide, 1 lumber, 2 gold, 1 lumber. So we did all right on resources, I think. Okay, well, I think that's going to be a good point to finish this episode off. We've got a lot of stuff to have a look at in the town itself before we move on to another mission. But we'll do that next time. Thank you very much for coming along, everyone. I do hope you've enjoyed this. As always, if you have, be sure to give a big thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do so, and you'll be told when the next episode goes live. Otherwise, I'll see you next time for some more Frosthaven. See you soon.